So this is after meeting up with the two guys I rode down there with. We knew we were gonna hit some rain going down there, and so I ended up buying a rain suit less than a week prior to this trip. There's Rex right there. He likes to kind of chill back behind and do his own thing, and then sometimes he gets bursts of energy where he comes flying past us and he wants to get out in front of us and go quick, and then just like that he's right back to going slow, and we'll pass him and he'll just fall back in line again. Going down there, we knew we were going to hit some rain, and we certainly did. At some points, you know, it didn't seem that bad when you're riding because, you know, I'm wearing this whole rain suit and you have your helmet on, so you don't feel like it's that bad. And then you open up your visor to like itch your eye or something, and then just it's like a monsoon of water just hitting you in the face. So we ended up getting gas, pulling over, and we ran into a guy that had a newer Triumph Tiger 850. I think his was maybe like a 2021, something like that.
Yeah, what model is that?
It's a 2014 800 XE.
Cool, I like it, nice. Nice.
Yeah, going down there, I mean, you could definitely see the squall line of the storms rolling in, and it was, I think it looked scarier probably than it actually was. This picture actually, that was at a Mexican restaurant. We stopped to get some lunch, and man, I didn't realize how soaked I was. My gloves were just soaked through, so drenched that I had to wring them out. But eventually the clouds opened up and we were smooth sailing from there on out. There's Rex and Craig both hightailing it down the street. It's funny because they might be some old guys, but they still love the drag race, so it's a good time. And there's the Cybertruck. I saw like 3, I think, on this trip, surprisingly. Down in Austin, they're all around apparently.
That thing is so sharp. My word. You can't get any more futuristic than that.
This is 10-15 minutes from our hotel. Craig, he was the planner of this trip, and he routed everything out and then figured out he couldn't share his routes via Google Maps. And so we ended up using Kalamodo, but it was kind of a hassle, but we still used it. If y'all have any other suggestions on what app we should use, put that in the comments, let us know, because it would definitely be nice to have a different app that was maybe more user-friendly. So second day, we were 2.5 hours from the Three Twisted Sisters, which doesn't sound terrible, but then the Three Twisted Sisters, I think, is a 4-hour ride, I think. Then after that, we had to do another 2.5 hours back. So looking into it the day before, we were like, man, it's gonna be kind of a long day, but nothing we haven't done before, because the day previous we did an 11-hour day. So if we did it again, we'd probably stay closer, but because of the solar eclipse and everything, I think we were stuck with what we had. This right here, if you look close, you can see a turkey flying out of the way. He was trying to cross the street, and Craig almost hit him. He thought he was gonna go back the way he came, and he ended up still crossing the street. There's Craig and Rex having a stream with a good view. We thought this house looked cool and had a great view just out in the middle of the plains out there in Texas. On the way to the Twisted Sisters, we stopped at this place, Bill's Barbecue. It was a pretty decent place, it wasn't bad. Fun fact, every day we had barbecue on this trip. This area I thought was really pretty, and then the house on the hill. There's a lot of houses on the hilltops down there. Oh, at this point, we were kind of going slow, and it was just an open road, and so I told Craig, I was like, I'm gonna have some fun. So I got around him and just got on the throttle and just took off. This was probably one of my favorite moments of the trip right here, is just going so fast on these open roads, because I mean, you can see for miles, and it was just such an attractive looking area. It was so much fun. So this part right here, probably, yeah, all-time favorite of the trip, I think. Just how far you could see and then how fast you could go, because of just how well paved the road was and how far you could see out in front of you. I mean, it was bliss riding on this road. So this part was on the Three Twisted Sisters. Great views. I mean, there's times where, I mean, you can kind of see it there. I mean, you know, if you don't turn, you're going off over the cliff and you're not gonna have a good day. And right here, we were looking for a spot to post up and take a photo, which right there would have been a good spot. And we were like, all right, maybe we'll turn around. And then they couldn't make the turnaround. And so we ended up just still riding and not stopping until later. Some of these clips I sped up just because we were kind of just going slow, but sped up. I mean, you can see just how nice some of the twisties are up here in this area. So my initial thought on this motorcycle trip was, you know, I'm going with two old guys, you know, but it ended up turning out to be that they're just two young guys trapped in old men bodies. Because I asked Rex one night at Whataburger if he felt old, and he said, no, it still feels weird saying I'm 74 years old. And so I think he still views himself kind of young, and he's still in disbelief that he's actually 74. It's just cool seeing that people never really change. Their body deteriorates, I guess, you know, to where they can't do what they used to, but they, you know, if they could, they certainly would. And so just because someone's old, you shouldn't think less of them. It's just what happens in nature. You grow old and your body weakens and it deteriorates. And so don't view old people as less than, because they're not. They're still people. that's something I kind of learned on this trip, and getting to see God's creation in all of its glory. I mean, and we're just in Texas, which is funny. There's nothing super crazy gorgeous to view, but yet it's still pretty, I mean, it was no Grand Canyon or Yosemite Falls or whatever, but it was still pretty. And so finding the beautifulness in the simple small things still, I mean, it's fantastic. If you try hard enough, you can find beauty in anything. And I think that's what's beautiful about God's creation, is being able to do that. So here's where we ended up stopping. We thought this was kind of a neat place to post up and take a photo. There's Craig again, having a stream, cleaning his windshield. Yeah, we had so many bugs on our windshield, it was ridiculous. And we heard every gas station stop, we would try to clean up our windshield and our bikes, but it was kind of pointless because we knew we were gonna get a whole bunch more anyway. Here's the motorcycle shop we stopped at. It was called Bent Rim Bar, I think, and there were some pretty cool motorcycles out there, and I took a couple pictures of the ones that I thought were cool. And there was a couple out there that were sitting. I had to snap a photo of them under the beautiful tree. So this is the same road that we were on earlier that I said was my favorite part, and this is just going the opposite way. And here we were talking about the rock formation right here. I was like, they had to blow it up or something and cut through that. It's not natural, or it's just a clean, straight cut through. But pretty cool, the fact that they just blew that up and built a road right through it. And right here, I forgot to put my glasses on at a gas station, and so I had to put them on while riding. Oh, right here, so Rex, he was like, all right, let's race, and I was like, all right, and then we started going, and I took off, and I was like, all right, well, that was kind of easy, but then he said, nah, I let you win, because, I don't want you getting all mad that a Harley beat you. And I was like, well, let's race then, come on. And so I'm in 6th gear right now, and he takes off. I'm like, well, dang. And then I see him shift, and I'm like, wait, I didn't know we were able to downshift. I thought we were going at, you know, our highest gear and going. So he was like, all right. So this time, you know, we're gonna do it again. And he was saying something, I couldn't hear him. And then all of a sudden, Craig was like, go. And so I looked to my left, and Craig's just hightailing it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I just hightail it with him. And I think, I don't know, I was still maybe in 5th or 6th gear right then. And then right here, they're like, all right, let's do a for real test. Drop down some gears, whatever gear you want, and let's do it. So I think I dropped down to 4th. And they said go, and I was gone. And Craig was like, oh, look at him go. And then I saw this Range Rover up here on the left, and I thought it was a cop, and I was like, oh, I'm done for. So this was on the way back to our hotel, our 2.5-hour drive back home after our already long day. But it was so pretty, the sunset just hitting everything just right. So our 3rd day, we ended up making it out to Willow City Loop. So the round trip for this trip was 6.5 hours. This one, since it was our 3rd day, we wanted to kind of do not such a long day. And so we decided to kind of do it close by, hit some things that we hadn't hit on our ride in at the beginning of our trip. This was a nice little twisted road that had some great views with houses on hilltops, and it was supposed to overlook a lake, but it was just empty. There was no water actually there. And this was nearby a campsite by the lake, and so we thought we'd get out and take some photos and just look at the scenery because it was really pretty up there. So this part, we are still on the way to Willow City Loop. We crossed this bridge with, you know, another little small waterfall, and so we decided, you know, this is a pretty cool spot. Let's turn around and go back and do it again. And then we got off and took some photos. So on screen you can see some of the photos that I took. So we ended up walking across the bridge a little ways and filming, taking some photos. So this spot I thought was like a Kodak moment of what a motorcycle trip would be. Just blue skies with wispy clouds and green hills and everything. So this is actually Willow City Loop right now. This probably was the prettiest part of the whole trip, this Willow City Loop. So we got out and stopped under these trees right here and took some photos. And we had to do a U-turn, and I ended up having to go through some blue bonnets, and so that was a picture of a blue bonnet stuck in my gear pedal. And then right before this video clip right here, I took that photo that you see on screen. This part was awesome, an awesome view out to the right. I mean, so cool, so vast. I mean, the video just doesn't do it justice. On the fence post, they had a whole bunch of cowboy boots just on top of them. And there was a whole bunch of fence posts, and there was a lot of cowboy boots. So right here, actually, I got hit by what I thought was a rock at first, about like a minute before this, and it hurt. And I was like, ah, that hurt. And then it kept hurting, and then it kept hurting, and I was like, ow, what the heck? And so then I realized maybe it's a bee, maybe something hit me and stung me. And so I was like, I need to get this out of me, you know, or something. Like, so I just started taking off my clothes.
Get a bee or something?
I don't know. It hit, and I was like, ow, that kind of hurt. And then it like really started hurting, and I was like, maybe a bee. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurt.
Maybe a wasp or something.
So I thought it was in my
dressed in the hurry up.
And then we stopped at Lick BBQ, which was the best barbecue place there was. I mean, it was so good. Craig found it and said that it was one of the best spots in Austin or in Texas, something like that. I got a sandwich. It had rib meat, sausage, and brisket, and it was delicious. And then as we were leaving, Craig was like, watch this. And so I looked.
Awesome. I actually got that on video too. I did. Oh my god. I heard yelling and I was like, where's it coming from?
Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this video of my trip to Austin. Thanks for watching.